Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live with the Roxy for this nighttime edition, Monday, December 13th. The review embargo officially just dropped for Spider-Man No Way Home, and I saw it T-minus 3 hours ago. Yes, I just checked my wrist with no watch on it. And I was going to wait to talk to you guys about this tomorrow at my normal Live with the Roxy showtime. But instead of doing the show tomorrow, I decided the review embargo is up. I just saw the movie and you guys deserve to know about it. So here I am live with you all to tell you my thoughts on this most recent Spidey movie. I almost said spots on this most recent thought. Spots on the thought. Thoughts on the spot. Listen, if you have questions, comments, concerns, streamlabs.com/RoxyStrider, super chat in. We are talking all things Spidey today. Is a little bit of background information. And by the way, this will be non-spoiler, of course. I'm not a dickhead, so I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. As a little background information, I have never seen a Spider-Man movie I didn't like. If you watch my show, you already know that. I love all Spidey movies. I love the animated Spider-Man movie. I love Amazing Spider-Man 2. I love all the Raimi films. I love Tom Holland. I love Andrew Garfield. I've loved every person. I like Miles Morales. I like Peter Parker. I love them. I love every Spider-Man thing ever. I love Spidey. So, going into this movie, my expectations were extremely high because I'm one of the very few people who likes all Spider-Man things. And this movie was supposed to be fully loaded. I heard all the rumors you guys had heard, and I'm not here to confirm nor deny those rumors, but I am here to say that after leaving Spider-Man No Way Home, it might be my favorite Spider-Man movie ever. Holy shit. Yeah, you heard that right. And we're Sony, not Disney, so I can say that. Holy shit, dog. This movie is incredible. Oh my God. I'm so happy because after every single thing we kept hearing about it, I was feeling extremely anxious, really nervous that I was going to not like this. But they managed to make a fully loaded, entertaining, cohesive movie that the music is incredible, the visuals are incredible, that we know, the acting, the performances are unbelievable, that we know. But that is unlike any other Spider-Man movie. And for me, almost every single part of this works. Almost every single part of it. Even the parts that on paper, if I was reading the script, I would be like, the way that it comes out in the performances, it just fucking works. So I can't wait to break down this movie for you guys. I can't wait to take any of your questions and answer whatever it is that I can. Ask me non-spoilery questions, and I will do what I can to answer them all. Because holy shit. Yeah. Jeremy Miller says after 3 hours, you already decided that. All right, then. I can't definitively say yet because I would need to see this again. And I'm still processing it. But this is the best feeling I've ever felt walking out of a Spider-Man movie. This is the best feeling I've ever felt. And that's really saying something because I've felt really good walking out of every Spider-Man movie. I'm surprised by many things. Let's break down all of the parts that I really enjoyed in this. Tom Holland is a hell of a fucking actor. I was not prepared for his performance in this movie. Even though I knew him to be a good actor prior to this, I was not prepared for him to turn out the performance that he did in this. His chemistry with Zendaya is off the charts. There's obvious reasons for that, and she's amazing in this as well. I really liked her role in this movie too, by the way. But Tom Holland is able to access his emotions so rapidly and so extremely. And while I feel like he could be a stage performer because a lot of his stuff is really big, it's all super grounded. And it has to be big because it's a superhero movie and he's Spider-Man. He's our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So he's got to be this young, fun, energetic, big, loud, out there person. but it all feels really real. And he did an amazing, this is his best performance yet was in this movie. And there's a few different moments in which I'm watching and I'm like, wow, this is a actor that we are if he wants to, because we don't know if he does. If he wants to, we're going to see this man for decades to come. We know that he's already signed on, I believe, to three more Spider-Man movies. So I am really looking forward to those. He gets better and better, like a fine wine. He's aging beautifully. The way I just said that was creepy. I don't mean his looks. I still think he looks very young. I just mean as an actor, he's doing a really wonderful job. Get in your questions, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. If you have questions that are not plot related, not spoiler related, let's talk about Zendaya a little bit. Let's talk about MJ. This has been a criticism in the past from people that MJ doesn't have that much to do in the movies. And while I tend to agree with that criticism, I don't know the people who feel that way are going to have their mind changed by No Way Home. For me though, and it's all for me because it's my review, I'm Roxy and it's live at the Roxy. I felt like she really was important to this film, and I get it all. I get their dynamic. I get her role in this. And I don't need her to have the biggest role on screen. It is interesting that in the past, she is an A-list celebrity at this point. She is a megastar. And the past two things she's been in, she's taken a little bit of a back seat with this and Dune. She doesn't seem to be the main of main characters, but there was more for her to do in this one. And when she does do it, she does it really, really well. I have to talk about Doctor Strange. For those of you who know me, you know I am not a Doctor Strange fan. I have never been a Doctor Strange fan, at least not in the MCU. It has nothing to do with Benedict Cumberbatch. I think he's a great actor, but the choices made around this character just fucking bother me. He's pompous, he's arrogant, he's a jackass, but he's not Tony Stark. And like, I already have one of those. And then this guy's all those things. Plus, he's all witchy and shit. And I usually like witchy and shit, but I like Zen witchy and shit people, not arrogant witchy and shit people. Obviously, this is not your typical review. This is how I talk about things. So he's just not been my favorite character. I even kind of dug him in this. He's still not my favorite character in this, but I even kind of dug him. And I was like, wow, all right, this makes sense. This is a role I can see him in. Everything he's doing checks out. He's doing it naturally. And I feel as if all of my dislike for the Doctor Strange movie and Doctor Strange's involvement in everything that happened with Thanos with the 1 in 1 billion bajillion chance or whatever the hell it is. This movie, I was like, all right, this is definitely my favorite. This is my favorite Doctor Strange that we've seen so far. Did I love him? Is he my favorite part of the movie? No. But am I totally okay with him in this film? Yeah, he even has a couple of very, very, very funny lines that I was like, Rox, don't be afraid to smile here. If he's making you smile, then just go ahead and go on with your bad self. So Doctor Strange, kind of a come up victory for me in this. I really like Marisa Tomei as Aunt May. She's sincere. She's sweet. She gets Peter. She sees Peter. And I think we've had a lot of great Aunt Mays, just in the same way that I think we've had a lot of great Peters. But there's something about Tom Holland and Marisa Tomei's dynamic that makes me feel that when I'm watching it, I'm very invested in their relationship. And this movie was no different than that. It was nice to see that relationship explored a little more. And I was happy to have her be as big of a part of the movie as she was. I'm going off of a lot of the people announced on IMDb. I don't know if you guys are avoiding spoilers or not. So I'm not going to mention some of the people that you might be trying to avoid knowing if they're in this or not. I can speak more about our regular players, our big hitters, the guy who plays Ned, Jacob Batalon. He's great. So endearing. Just lovely. Really, really lovely. I like him. I really enjoy him. Same thing with Tony Revolori as Flash Thompson. I like I like Spidey's friends. I like his team. I like his gang, and they are all essential in this story. Or if they're not essential, they bring something to it that really enhance the story for me, such as humor, timing, one moment, anything like that. So those are some of the characters that I can speak about. Again, get in your questions, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. If you have non-plot related questions or comments, things you want to know about Spider-Man. I like John Watts a lot. I think that he did an excellent job here. And this was another victory. I really liked Homecoming. I really liked Far From Home. And I really like No Way Home. I think that he's got it going on. I think that this was the funniest of the three. This was, as I tweeted out, this was LOL funny. It was laugh out loud funny. There were multiple times in the movie where I was like belly laughing really fucking big because the dialogue is extremely witty. There's even a line about my home city that made me very much so giggle. It was really great. Any of you guys who are from Mass will appreciate it. But yeah, it was really funny. And not just me, the entire theater. Like you could feel the energy in this theater of critics that are hard to fucking please, not usually me, but critics. Everyone was laughing from the jump. Everyone's smiling. Everybody, people were saying, clapping throughout different parts of the movie. People would clap. People would be like, oh, oh, and like really were vocal during this film, which is when you know that you've got the critics, during a superhero movie like this, when you have the critics on your side, I just can't picture audience members not loving this movie. It's so, so strong. Not only is it funny, though, it's also extremely emotional. There was a couple of parts where both Steph and Dorina, my fellow World Girls who were next to me, were both crying. I thought that was interesting. I even shed a small tear during one part. There are several emotional moments. Now, there are some happy tear moments, there are some sad tear moments. And I'm not talking about happy tear as in happy Hogan tears. I'm talking about happy as in I'm celebrating. I'm so happy. I'm crying. This movie takes itself seriously enough, but not so serious that it can't poke fun at some of its history and where it's been. And I really appreciated that as well. So that worked that worked brilliantly. Like I talked about earlier, the music was just fantastic. Not a surprise because it's Michael Giacchino, who is obviously one of the best known composers in the biz. He did a phenomenal job with this, just as he has with everything else. And I wasn't expecting anything less. That is something that these movies really tend to get right. Their music, really good. Really, really good. Questions, comments, concerns, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Get them in. Let's see. Gavin in here says, reading all the reviews, they're not all great, but most of them are. Forbes gave it a less than stellar review, but fuck Forbes, LOL. I don't agree with fuck Forbes, but I am shocked to hear that because I kind of think if you ask me, what do you think this movie is going to get on Rotten Tomatoes? I would say a 95. I can't picture Spider-Man fans or comic book movie fans or superhero fans, even fans of good film not liking this. It's just really good. If I'm being nitpicky, the first act is slow. This first act is a little slow. The second and third act, I mean, the third act is very fast. The second act picks up, and the third act is super duper action packed. But the first act is a little slow, and there is some point in there where you're like, okay, what's going to happen here? Is this movie going to hit the ground running, or are we going to kind of stay at this pace? And we really then decide we're not only are we going to hit the ground running, but we are running so fast we don't even fucking see the ground anymore. Boom, 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 like that. So just really, really well done. I actually loved the pacing because of that. There's only one point early on, maybe we're 30 minutes in, and I was like, and then it was like, no, 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 Rox, don't you dare fucking question this movie. Streamlabs in. Let me know questions, comments, concerns, anything Spidey related. I'm obviously not going to give spoilers but I am happy to talk about your questions. Glenn Caesar in the Streamlab says, nice Spider-Man shirt, Roxy. Thank you. Thanks to Black Milk for this. 2 thumbs up for that. Also, so you're saying that Spider-Man No Way Home is really good. I'm very happy to hear it. I'll be quite interested to see it. Also, you like Doctor Strange in this movie? Oh shit, that's dope AF. I liked him best that I've liked him so far. I liked him best that I liked him so far. He was very solid in this film. Very solid. I think that also what's telling is that Dorina and Steph both love this movie. We just put out a TikTok if you guys want to see. It's what we gave a whirl. It's actually counting as our tomorrow whirl for our 30 days of whirl. But the fact that both D, who hates comic book movies at this point, and Steph and me, we all have very different takes. We all loved it. Also, afterwards, everybody was congregating. You kind of can tell how critics feel after something, because if they don't like a movie, everybody kind of jumps home. And if you like a movie, everybody kind of crowds around and talks about it. And Winston and Jay Washington and DJ and Christian Harloff, everybody we were all stuck around and we're talking about it. I saw Hector beforehand, Perry beforehand, Haley Fouch beforehand. I want to get their thoughts on it. But of the people that I talked to afterwards, everyone was like, that was fucking good, right? Like, holy crap, that was really, really effing good. So I just think you guys are going to like it. I think like is too subtle of a word. I don't want to hype you guys up too much, but it really delivered on everything it promised it would. It made a lot of promises, not just in the rumor mill, but also in the fact that we are now in Spider-Man's 3rd movie. Spider-Man is a huge character in the MCU. Spider-Man is one of the biggest left alive Avengers. So there's a lot of things that this movie needed to accomplish. And I think it accomplished every single one of those things. If you have other questions, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar, get them in. If you want to know anything about the movie that is not a spoiler question, then please get in the super chat here or streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. I'm just so excited right now that I actually really liked this movie that I'm kind of stunned. I'm pretty stunned. There were some people afterwards who had said that maybe we liked the movie a lot because of how fully loaded it was. And there is a lot of fan service going on in this movie. I won't give any spoilers or more details on that, but there is a lot of fan service. But I thought that it all played in very well and seamlessly. It didn't feel like they said, how do we make the most money from the most action figures and the most locations and the most and how do we just fill everything and we don't care about story? It felt like story came first. They really cared about plot and story. They cared about this being a cohesive movie that had heart and soul and humor in it, and everything else just happened to work. Everything else worked. It wasn't like, boom, let's do this thing right here because this is what we need for advertisements. The fact that there's a lot of reveals in this that have not been advertised is really, really cool. So I liked that a lot. If you guys have questions, Streamlabs them in, super chat them in so that I know what it is you guys want me to talk about for my Spider-Man review. I will say stay through to the end. There is both a mid-credit and post-credit scene. I guess I'm going to call them scenes. The mid-credit scene, I definitely saw coming, as I'm sure any of you guys who are caught up in the MCU, just caught up in Marvel in general, or caught up in the world of Spider-Man, then you guys will know. Then you guys probably have some predictions of what we're going to see at some point in the mid-credit scene. The post-credit scene, I was surprised with the direction they went in with. I shouldn't have been as surprised, but because this is a Sony property, the post-credit scene actually surprised me more than the mid-credit scene. And I'll give you guys that little grain of salt, hopefully. But stay through because those credits are long and a lot of people left. People have not learned their lesson yet. A lot of people left after the mid-credit scene. And then there's a big post-credit actually, it's not just a scene, it's a big post-credit scenes. There's a post-credit multiple things that take place. So stay through to the very end. Yeah. Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all don't seem to have many questions about Spider-Man. I thought everybody was going to want to know more. It was only my friend Glenn. Streamlabs in, super chat in. Let me know. If not, I can get the out of here. I just wanted to let you guys know that I loved Spider-Man. I thought this movie was excellent. And I cannot wait till you guys see it. I'm curious what other people are saying. Let's check out some reviews from people right now. The embargo went up at 10:30, so there should be plenty of people with things to say. Also, there was a premiere tonight, so a lot of people seeing this movie for the first time. Let's see. Let me go to my friends, people you follow, and see who is tweeting about this. Dorian Park said Spider-Man No Way Home sends this trilogy off on a glorious high note. This action is top notch, and the villains steal the show. Interesting. I felt like the villains did an excellent job as well. It felt like a culmination of all the previous Spider-Man films that came before it. This is the best Spider-Man film to date. I don't disagree. Winston Marshall said, that was absolutely insane. Watching this brought out the best feelings of what Spider-Man means to everyone. My favorite MCU story since Infinity War / Endgame. Totally. Ash Crossan said, I cried the entire time. I feel you. Brandon Davis, BD, says, Spider-Man No Way Home is undoubtedly the biggest, the most emotional, and possibly the best Spider-Man movie ever. Need to sit with it and decide. It's hard to imagine topping this one, like genuinely hard to imagine getting more than this movie gives you as a Spider-Man fan. I'm feeling all of these completely. I totally agree with all of that. Yeah, it's kind of wild that they were able to accomplish this. After you watch the movie, it's like, how the fuck did they pull that off? Every single part, like, how did you get how did you do that? How did you do that? How did you get all the moving parts, and how did you write a script that did all that, and how did you appeal to a bunch of different demos and different ages, and how did you do that? How did you do that? Wendy Lee Zaney said Spider-Man No Way Home is a fun ride from beginning to end, filled with action, heart, and charm. Even though the film is 2.5 hours long, it flies by and doesn't drag. Wow, I can't believe this movie was 2.5 hours long. I genuinely thought this movie was an hour and 45. It fucking flew. And even though the film is 2.5 hours long, flies by, it doesn't drag. Tom Holland shows us once again why he's a perfect Spider-Man / Peter Parker. Fans will be delighted. Alicia Grauso, who tweeted out and said, the embargo is lifted for only a few minutes and I'm already seeing enormous spoilers. Oh no! That's a bummer. That's a bummer. I haven't seen those, but yeah, I certainly hope this doesn't get spoiled to people. Jay Washington said Spider-Man No Way Home is an amazing ride from beginning to end. Humor, heart, action, and a couple oh shit moments. Also, Patrick Swayze's Ghost and Whoopi Goldberg as Celie from The Color Purple make a cameo. I did want to tweet a bunch of fake spoilers too. I thought that would be really, really funny. I thought that would be super funny. So yeah, these are my thoughts. Eric Goldman said first half was a lot of fun stuff, but also feels a bit clunky. But in the second half, it coalesces. I don't know what that word means. In a big way, coalesces. I told you guys, people use two big words in their tweets to describe movies. So something absolutely thrilling, awesome stuff. I really love the places it went for several reasons. Can't wait to see it again. Christian Harloff said, so Spider-Man No Way Home, I was concerned with so many characters that it would feel cramped and not enough development to care about what was going on. I'm happy to have been wrong. This is engaging, emotional, and most of all, fun. I agree. It was very fun. Yay. Perry says the first half of Spider-Man No Way Home is a little messy, but the second half soars. In that part of the movie, the multiverse of it all far exceed my expectations. Fun, exhilarating, often very emotional, and hugely satisfying material. Yeah. I think people love this. Coalis. I don't know that word. Yeah, of course I look at the YouTube chat. I've been looking at the YouTube chat the whole time. So I see it. And if you have questions, you can feel free to ask them in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, or in the super chat. Otherwise, doing the best I can to tell you guys how I feel about Spider-Man. Ryan Payne in the Streamlabs says, Roxy, I honestly have no high expectations for this movie. Really? I just hope the acting performances are good and MJ and Ned aren't pushed to the back. I don't know if you're going to feel satisfied with MJ and Ned. They aren't front and center. They aren't pushed to the back, but they are on the side. I haven't been sold on Holland yet. Wow, this is his best. I think that might change for you. P.S. Glad you like Doctor Strange in this, although you don't like him. LOL. Yeah. It's kind of like when Shiv says to Tom in Succession, even though I don't love you, I love you. It's like me and Doctor Strange. Kind of. I think that it's okay to have higher expectations than you do right now because it's really, really an excellent film. It's really, really good. Coalesce. Huh. Coalesce. She learned a new word. Thanks for teaching me, guys. It's fun. It's endearing. It's silly. It's sweet. It's got heart. It's got everything. Go see Spider-Man. I don't think it's going to disappoint you. I would be really, really surprised if this has less than a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's check out actually what it has currently. I wonder if the Rotten Tomatoes has been updated yet as the embargo has lifted. Spider-Man No Way Home Rotten Tomatoes, it says currently has 100% on the tomato meter with this 13 reviews. Super duper not shocking that the first 13 reviews are all giving this a certified fresh, including Perry Nemiroff, who give it a 4 out of 5. I would give this movie a 5 out of 5. I understand a 4 out of 5, but I say 5 out of 5 for this film. And so does Tessa Smith from Mama's Geeky. Tessa Smith said Spider-Man No Way Home didn't meet my expectations. It exceeded them. The visuals, the score, the heart, the story, the villains all come together to form an epic creation. Yep. Ooh, Alonzo, who's really hard to please usually. Alonzo Duralde says from The Wrap, the most superheroic feat on display might be the film's ability to keep human-sized emotions and relationships front and center, even as the very fabric of time and space twists itself into knots. I agree with that. I agree. See, all these people are wordsmiths. I just say it how it is. All right, friends. I am going to get out of here as it seems like I have answered any of your questions, comments, concerns. I was going to do this instead of my stream for tomorrow, but I don't know. I'll see if I have time. I've got to take Grammy. Got to go hang with Grammy and see my uncle before he leaves. It's just a little insider baseball for the people who watch live at the Roxy. Other than that, I appreciate you guys listening to my thoughts. I hope you guys like this movie as much as I did. It was really, really wonderful, and I cannot wait for you guys to see it. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you. And much love to all my friends out there, to all the rock stars. Stay safe, stay sane, put down the toilet seat and the lid. We don't want those buffoons. Don't try them with the Holocaust. Brett Miles Jonathan, the rest of the cops that killed Breonna Taylor. Make your bed. And don't forget about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Another quick Streamlabs rolling through, getting those last minute ones. Glenn Caesar said, Roxy, the word coalesce. But anyway, you get 2 thumbs up, gold star, etc. for the effort. Thanks for giving it a go. Glad that I could help. LOL, look at me with my teacher's hat. Yeah, you do. And spelling, pronunciation. Go me. Glenn, you always keep me in check, and I appreciate that about you. You rock. Much love, friends. And I'm not gonna spoil anything, but boy, would there be a lot to spoil. Because holy shit, fully loaded. Later.